Myra's boots hit the vault's cracked permacrete first. Dust billowed around her suit seals as Several barked orders behind her. Secure perimeter, Klein door analysis, Voss prep the probe. She strode forward, scanner humming in her gloved hand. The massive precursor door loomed, etched with interlocking glyphs that twisted like frozen lightning. No coalition standard matched them. Her scanner beeped, capturing fractal repeats, clusters of 5, then 7, spiraling inward. Got patterns, Mara said into her comm. Repeating motifs, mapping to a grid now. She projected the overlay onto her visor. Lines snapped into place, a 9x9 matrix, glyphs slotting like puzzle pieces. Humans saw chaos, she saw code. Eerie Voss scuttled up beside her, his 4 limbs clicking on the stone. The alien sensor stalks quivered. Standard probe first, precursors respond to machine tongues. He jacked the probe into a faint power seam. Lights flickered along the door's edge. Myra stepped back. A low hum built. The ground trembled. Alert, Several snapped from the shuttle ramp. Pulse incoming. Red veins pulsed across the vault walls. Energy arced toward the probe. Eerie Voss yanked it free too late. Sparks flew, and his suit alarms wailed. Myra dove for the nearest conduit panel. She pried it open with her multi-tool. Wires glowed inside, alien schematics half buried in dust. Power surge building, her scanner warned. Vault lockdown in 30 seconds. She traced the flow. Human intuition kicked in, follow the loops, isolate the spike. Her fingers danced over exposed nodes, rerouting current with quick splices. The red veins dimmed. The hum faded. Eerie Voss staggered upright, stalks retracting. You, rerouted manually, without schematics. Patterns match, Mara said, snapping the panel shut. Grid showed the bypass. Several loomed over them, his armored crest flaring. Next pulse in 2 minutes. Standard methods failed. Klein manual interface. Now, Mara nodded, heart steady. She pulled her stylus and a flex sheet from her pack. No machines. Just her eyes and hands. The door ignored every translator the Coalition threw at it. Probes sparked. Vocal emulators fizzled. But as she sketched the glyph grid, handwritten loops connecting clusters, the surface shimmered. A soft chime echoed. The door's center glyph glowed blue. Eerie Voss froze. It reacts to your markings. Keep scanning, Mara said. She added vectors, arrows linking repeats. The grid evolved on her sheet, inputs at the edges, outputs spiraling to the core. The countdown glyph pulsed, 1:45. Sevral's voice cut sharp. Talk to it, human. Or we evac. Mara pressed her sheet against the door. Custodian, archive access, pattern match, query response loop. Silence, then a voice, metallic, ancient, rumbled from hidden vents. Interface detected. Cognitive profile, recursive pattern alignment, human variant confirmed. State intent. Her breath caught. It spoke, clear, parsed through her grid. Knowledge extraction, she said. Coalition team, no threat. Verification required, defense sequence active, lethal purge in 120, submit alignment proof. Eerie Voss chittered. Proof? What proof? Myra ignored him. She redrew the core glyph, inverting its spirals to match the matrix's output flow. Her stylus scratched fast, human speed, no machine lag. The door hummed approval. Blue spread from her contact point. Alignment partial, escalate to full interface. Risk neural feedback. Several gripped her shoulder plate. Neural pull back. No time. Myra slotted her gauntlet jack into the glowing node. Feedback tingled up her arm, visions of star maps, glyph evolutions. The countdown froze at 0:55. Full access granted, the AI intoned. Custodian 9 online, human cognition bypasses decay protocols, precursors designed for pattern seers, your kind persists. Eerie Voss's stalks waved frantically. She bypassed it, a human. Mara blinked, sweat from her eyes. Data flooded her visor, archive schematics, star charts, warnings of cosmic threats. It's sharing. Several locked this down. 2-species survival in here. Sevral's crest flattened in awe. How our best AIs failed. Patterns, Mara said, steadying her voice. We see them raw, but the AI's tone shifted. Warning, core vault unsealed. Containment breach imminent. Evacuate or interface deeper. Alarms blared anew. Deep rumbles shook the floor. Custodian 9's voice sharpened. Human choose. Full download risks your neural net. Decline and purge resumes. Mara glanced at Sevral's wide eyes, Eerie Voss's trembling limbs. The grid burned in her mind, knowledge to save them all. She pressed deeper. Energy surged. Visions exploded, precursor fleets fleeing voids, glyphs encoding weapons against the dark. Several shouted, Klein, she held, patterns locked. The rumble stopped. Download complete, Custodian 9 said. Shared knowledge transferred, two species now aligned. Myra slumped against the door as it irised open. Light poured from within, hollow crystals humming with lost tech. Eerie Voss whispered, she did it with scribbles. Sevral stared at her flex sheet still pinned to the door. Humans, rewrite the rules. But in the archive's glow, a new glyph pulsed, unmapped, hungry. Something watched from the core. Myra straightened. That's not all. It's calling for more. The team stepped forward, her grid their only map. Sevral sealed the outer perimeter as Mara led them inside. Hollow panels flickered to life, projecting precursor histories in glyph cascades. She traced them mid-stride, her sheet now a shared reference taped to Eerie Voss's scanner. These mark stellar routes, she said. Evac paths from a galaxy-killer event. Eerie Voss synced his device. Our probes missed the layers. Your grid peels them open. Custodian 9's voice followed, projected from ceiling nodes. Correct. Precursors fled the void swarm. Archives hold countermeasures. Human pattern lock enables full dissemination. Sevral halted at a branching corridor. Red hazard lights throbbed. Countdown residue. Another trap, Mara scanned. Power bleed, reroute here. She knelt, splicing nodes again, familiar loops now. The lights steadied. Green. You're adapting their systems like breathing, Sevral said. His voice held new respect, crest low. Teamwork, Mara replied. You fly, Voss theorizes. I connect dots. Deeper in, crystal vaults hummed. Custodian 9 materialized as a hovering orb. Query, disseminate to Coalition and human networks? Eerie Voss's stalks perked. Yes, but verify integrity, Mara nodded. Grid confirms, no corruptions. The orb pulsed. Transmission initiating. Warning, void swarm signatures detected in current epoch. Prepare defenses. Star maps bloomed, threat vectors arrowing toward their systems. Sevral activated his comm. Coalition command, archive secure. Human specialist Klein holds the key. Two species united. Cheers crackled back. Mara smiled faintly, flex sheet crinkling in her grip. Patterns saved them, but the unmapped glyph in the core vault winked. Custodian 9 noted it. Anomaly, precursor failsafe. Human interface to resolve? She stepped toward it. The team followed. The glyph expanded, hungry for her touch. What lay beyond could rewrite stars or end them. Myra pressed her flex sheet to the core vault's unmapped glyph. The crystal surface hummed under her fingers. Etched lines flared, mirroring the sheet's captured grid exactly. She pulled back. No change. Sevral shifted behind her, his crest twitching. Eerie Voss's stalks leaned in, scanners whirring. Duplicating now, Mara said. She activated the sheet's projector. The glyph grid beamed onto the vault wall, then onto her wrist pad, and finally into a hollow drone hovering nearby. 3 identical copies pulsed in sync. Cross-check time. Myra traced the edges on each medium. First copy, clean. Second, faint warp at node 7. Third, identical warp. Drift confirmed, subtle power flux from the vault's emitters. Drift in projections, she announced. Compensating. Her fingers flew over the flex sheet, adjusting for the anomaly. The grids realigned. Perfect match. The vault glyph brightened. A low chime echoed. Sevral's voice cut in. Klein report, does it respond? Not yet. Myra studied the smallest repeating unit, a tight spiral of 5 strokes, pulsing every 3 seconds. Pattern screamed vocal trigger. She leaned closer. Trying audio. She spoke it aloud. Zirka, Zirka. Matched the cadence precisely. Short burst, 2-second gap. Vault lights synced. They flashed in rhythm. Zirka, Zirka. The doors seems glowed blue. Eerie Voss recoiled. Vocal input. Precursors used sonic locks. Pattern lock, Myra corrected. Repeating unit demands mimicry. She repeated it slower. Lights followed, brighter. Sevral's claws clicked on the floor. Protocol forbids uncontrolled audio. Risk of overload. Myra glanced back. His eyes narrowed, but he tapped his comm. Authorizing controlled vocal channel. Monitor levels Voss. Acknowledged. Eerie Voss patched in dampeners. Levels stable. Proceed. Myra nodded. She inserted a timed pause. Zirka, 5 beats silent. Zirka. The vault responded. New sequence bloomed across the door, interlocking spirals demanding continuation. Got it. Her mind mapped the progression. Fractal build, each pause doubled the prior unit. She voiced it. Zirka, Zirkalor, Zirkalorvex. The door shuddered. A narrow data slit cracked open at knee height. Inside, a faint glow pulsed. Custodian 9's orb flickered nearby. Interface accepted, core archive unsealed. Then the slit displayed it, vertical bars ticking down, red numerals in precursor script, fast, too fast, countdown. Mara's pulse spiked. Timer, unknown units, looks hostile. Sevral lunged forward. Defense activation, evacuate? No. Mara dropped to her knees. Slit was 10 centimeters wide, data port, not weapon. She fed her flex sheets edge in. Grid interfaced. Data flooded, 4722. 4721. Self-destruct sequence, Custodian 9 intoned. Intruder purge, linguistic override required. Human cadence matches precursor echo profile. Eerie Voss's stalks quivered. Echo profile, humans mimic precursor speech. Pattern match, Mara muttered. She scanned the timer's script, repeating motifs, threat vectors, swarm icons from the outer archive. It's a failsafe for void swarm remnants. We tripped it opening the core. 4650. Sevral gripped his sidearm. Override how? Vocal again? Mara traced the bars. Sub-pattern inverted spirals from the door sequence. Build on the echo, reverse it. She spoke into the slit. Vexlor Kazer. Pauses time to the tick. Timer hesitated. 4648. Held. Working. She layered it. Duplicated the full grid across slit, wall, and drone. Cross-check drift again. Timer flux matched the earlier warp. Adjusted. Eerie Voss patched her feed. Amplifying your signal. Coalition arrays linking. Sevral barked into comms. Hold position. Klein decoding live. 4559. Timer resumed. Slower. Mara pushed. Smallest unit first, scaling up. Zirka, Zerkalor, Vex, Vexlor Kazer. Cadence locked. Lights across the vault synced, ceiling nodes, floor vents, walls. Custodian 9 pulsed approval. Cognitive interface viable. Human neural weave aligns. Precursors engineered for pattern seers. The slit widened fractionally. Data streamed, blueprints, swarm countermeasures, star charts, but timer ticked, 4430. Too slow, Mara said. Sweat beaded her brow, flex sheet overheated. She stripped protocols, raw decoding. Patterns leaped, timer wasn't linear. Units were event-based, each decoded layer bought time. Layer 2. She voiced the inverted spiral fully. Door groaned. Slit spat a probe, thin crystal filament latching to her sheet. Neural feedback hit. Visions flashed, precursor ships fleeing black cloud swarms, archives sealed for worthy minds. 4312. Sevral knelt beside her. Vital signs steady? Fine. Mara ignored the ache. Voss, sync drone to my pauses, amplify grid duplication. Eerie Voss complied. Drones hummed, projecting grids in triplicate. Drift zeroed. Timer slowed, 4255, 4254, Custodian 9 interfaced directly. Human query full dissemination, timer halts at archive release. Yes, Mara gasped. Coalition and human nets, now. Data surged. Timer plummeted, 4100, 4059. Not enough. Mara spotted the core pattern, a metaloop tying all grids. She spoke it, voice raw. Zerkalor Vex, loop eternal. Vault quaked, slit irised wide. Timer froze at 3947. Green, Sevral exhaled, his crest flattened in relief. You. Rewrote their defense. Patterns don't rewrite, Mara said, pulling her sheet free. Blistered fingers stung. They connect. Eerie Voss's scanners beeped frenzy. Full archive dump, swarm kill codes, hull weaves, jump matrices, priceless. Custodian 9's orb spun. Transmission complete. Human pattern lock ratified. 2 species now heirs. But the slit hummed deeper. A secondary vault cracked open. Inside, a star bloomed hollow of their galaxy, red arrows converging. Void swarm signatures. Real time. Sevral activated fleet link. Command, defenses inbound. Klein's decode arms us. Mara stood, flex sheet clutched tight. Patterns saved them once. Swarm demanded more. The hollow sharpened. Lead arrow their position. ETA 12 cycles. She traced a new glyph forming on the inner wall. Smaller unit. Hungrier cadence. Next layer, she whispered. Team tensed. Door lights synced to her breath. Deeper in waited the weapon to end swarms or summon them. Mara spoke first. Zirka, lights answered. Sevral signaled forward. With you, pattern seer. Eerie Voss fed her fresh drones. Grids ready, drift check protocol yours. Custodian 9 trailed. Human leads, precursors concur. They plunged in. Timer residue glowed behind, reminder of seconds bought. Mara's voice echoed ahead. Zerkalor, cadence built, walls parted. Swarm schematics unfolded, weak points, mimicry shields, void burners. Coalition ships could wield them, but the arrow closed. 1158. Prioritize kill codes, Mara directed. Flex sheet brimmed with data. Sevral relayed bursts. Fleet acknowledges, human interface credited. Eerie Voss marveled. Your brain sees what our arrays miss, fractals in noise. Practice, Mara said, humble truth. Humans spotted dots, aliens flew the vectors, inner chamber sealed behind, central plinth rose, final glyph grid vast, shifting, countdown glyph winked anew. Link to swarm ETA. 10:45. Duplicate, Mara ordered. Drones swarmed, sheet wall air 3 media locked, drift minimal. She voiced the unit, door synced, Sevral authorized again. Vocal full, protocols waived. Pause pattern forced response, plinth displayed swarm counter deployable now. Custodian 9 beamed it galaxy-wide. Air's armed. Timer hit 0. No, reset to swarm ETA minus archive load. 9:30, Mara interface direct, neural weave burned brighter. Visions, precursors choosing pattern minds over machines. Her kind, team watched in awe, Sevral's crest stayed low, respect etched. Eerie Voss synced coalition AI, your method integrates, flawless. 8:15, core dump peaked, weapons schematics flooded nets, human and alien alike. Swarm arrow fractured under simulated fire. 7:00, Mara withdrew, blisters throbbed but grid held, vault stilled, green everywhere, Sevral clasped her shoulder, rare touch. 2 species breathe. Mara slammed the flex sheet against the vault door's glowing panel. Pulses hammered through her gloves, each one syncing with the chamber's humming light cycles. She tapped furiously, plotting harmonics on the sheet's grid. Red lines spiked, countdown at 4:17, accelerating. Eerie Voss's vents hissed behind her. Those sequences match purge protocols, precursor archives wipe intruders. The alien stalks quivered, scanning his own tablet. Evacuate now, Sevral's voice cut sharp. Weapons ready. Coalition standard, stun bursts first. His armored troops fanned out, rifles humming to life. Blue targeting lights danced across the door's glyphs. Myra's breath caught. One twitch and the vault's defenses would shred them all. Not yet. Myra yanked a probe from her kit. She mirrored the door's glyph timing, 2 pulses fast, 1 slow. Confirm. Then inverted, deny. The sheet fed it back precise. The door shuddered, glyphs flickered. A new icon bloomed, compliant operator flagged, human interface matched. 1 defense layer, nanite swarm, suspended. Timer eased to 4:02. Mara's pulse raced. It sees me, Custodian 9, confirm interface. A voice boomed from the plinth, synthetic and vast. Operator verified. Linguistic cognitive match, pattern air, proceed. Sevral's rifles snapped up. Crest flared crimson. Mara spun. Stand down, it's listening. Troops froze. Eerie Voss's stalks whipped toward her. Operator, that's activation code. You're tagged as hostile controller. No, Mara jabbed the sheet. It suspended the swarm. Look, layer 1 offline. Green pulsed on the door. But the timer ticked, 3:58. Next layer loomed, plasma vents from the schematics. Sevral's grip tightened on his rifle. Humans step back. Custodian protocol. Operators trigger full purge. I've got this. Mara patched her neural weave direct to the panel. Blisters formed under the contacts, hot, insistent. She fed patterns, door harmonics overlaid with countdown fractals. Full access, she pulsed, before layer 2. The plinth thrummed, query, air credentials. Eerie Voss lunged forward. Don't, precursor AI's bond operators. You'll lock us out. Mara ignored him, her weave burned brighter. Visions flickered, ancient vaults, minds weaving glyphs like spider silk. Humans did that, saw dots in chaos, connected them. She traced a response, pattern continuity, archive heirs seek inheritance. Silence stretched. Timer 3:42, Sevral barked. Fire on the plinth, disrupt it. Troops sighted, Mara threw up a hand. Wait, credentials match, Custodian 9 intoned. Operator Klein, Mara, channel open, layer 2 hold, relief flooded her. But Sevral's rifles stayed high, locked on her now. Operator label means control, you're rigged. I'm not. Mara pulled data streams. Schematics poured, shield harmonics, void burner tweaks. Coalition ships could use them against the swarm. She beamed a burst to Sevral's comm. Proof it's sharing. Eerie Voss snatched the feed, stalks widened. Impossible, our arrays modeled this for cycles, no match. Your arrays chase vectors, Mara said. I spot the noise between. Sevral lowered his rifle a fraction, crest dipped yellow caution. Timer, 3:21. 2 layers left, give me the channel. Troops hesitated. Sevral waved them down. Human lead, but if purge... Understood. Mara synced deeper. Custodian 9 queried again, swarm inbound. ETA 250, arm airs? Yes. She plotted swarm paths against archive weapons. Weak points glowed. Transmit kill codes, coalition and human fleets. Data flooded. Sevral's comm exploded with acknowledgements. Fleet has it. Simruns confirm swarm fractures. Eerie Voss synced his tablet. Fractals. Your brain pulled them from glyph drift. We missed that. Practice. Mara flexed blistered fingers. Timer 2:38. Inner grid shifted. Final lock. Custodian 9 pulsed. Core access. Pattern air only. Mara leaned in. Weave seared. Visions hit. Precursors fleeing war. Seeding vaults for minds like hers. Not machines. Pattern spotters. Humans. She voiced the override. Door cycled. Plinth rose higher. Sevral's crest flattened. Respect. Two species breathed because alarms wailed. Layer 3 primed, void burners. Timer flashed 2:15. Mara demanded full dump now. Heirs armed, Custodian 9 replied. Galaxy-wide beam lanced out, but Sevral's voice hardened anew. Rifles up. Operator bond complete, she's the trigger. Mara whirled, barrels trained on her chest. The chamber trembled, swarm schematics locked in, but rifles gleamed. One shot and the archive or her would end it all. She raised empty hands. Commander, trust the patterns. Sevral's finger hovered. Timer 1:59. Eerie Voss broke silence. Wait, data flow, it's pure, no purge. Troops wavered. Sevral's crest flickered. Human. Convince the AI you're not purging us. Mara nodded. She pulsed the weave. Confirm alliance. Heirs united. Custodian 9 hummed. Alliance logged. Layer 3 suspend. Green swept the grid. Rifles dipped. But the plinth glowed hotter. Final protocol, operator inheritance. Except Mara swallowed, blisters throbbed. Visions deepened, precursor memories, wars lost to blind machines. Her mind fit the lock. Except, she whispered, data torrent hit. Weapons, drives, histories. Coalition nets lit up. Human probes pinged from afar, Earth fleets sinking. Sevral clasped her shoulder. Rare touch, scales rough. You see what we fly past? Eerie Voss marveled. Fractals in noise, your kind. Timer reset, swarm ETA minus load time. 1:42, Mara withdrew, weave smoking. Swarm fractures under this fire, 2 species hold. Walls parted. Schematics unfolded full, weak points mimicry shields, Sevral relayed bursts. Fleet armed, human credited. But the inner chamber sealed. Central plinth rose, final glyph grid vast shifting. Countdown winked, linked to swarm. 1:30. Drones, Mara ordered. They swarmed, sheet, wall, air, 3 locks, drift minimal. She voiced the unit, door synced, Sevral authorized. Vocal full, wave protocols. Pause pattern forced it, plinth displayed swarm counter, deployable. Custodian 9 beamed wide, heirs armed. Timer zeroed. No, reset to 1:15. Mara interfaced neural. Visions, precursors chose pattern minds, team watched, Sevral's crest low. Eerie Voss synced coalition AI, integrates flawless. 0:58, core dump peaked, weapons flooded nets, swarm arrow fractured in sims. 0:42, Mara pulled back. Grid held, green everywhere, vault stilled, Sevral's clasp lingered. 2 species breathe. But a new glyph pulsed. Operator duty, pursue swarm core. Mara's weave itched. Duty, the archive called her outward into the void. Sevral raised his rifle, not at her, at the plinth. What now, operator? Rifles rose again. Her label hung like a noose. Mara's hand shot up. Rifles down now. Sevral's crest flickered orange. His rifle dipped an inch. The rest of the squad hesitated, barrels glinting under the plinth's glow. The glyph pulsed again. Operator duty, pursue swarm core. Commander, Mara said, voice steady. That's not a threat, it's a handoff. Eerie Voss edged forward, scanner humming. Glyph matrix unstable, links to external swarm vector. We secured the vault. A low chime cut him off. The plinth split. Steam hissed from a seam. An antechamber yawned open beyond, walls etched with fractal scripts that twisted like living code. Air inside hummed, thick with ozone. Sevral's scales rasped as he gripped his weapon tighter. Containment breach, protocol isolate. No, Mara stepped forward. Her suit's lights caught the script's shimmer, patterns leaping out, blocks of repetition she could almost taste. Live feed to you, Commander, full spectrum, I go in alone. His eyes narrowed, multifaceted pupils contracting. Human, unarmed, into unknown. Pattern match, she said. Custodian 9 keyed to it. Your scans bounced. Mine synced. Eerie Voss tapped his console. Confirmed, neural weave residue on her implants. Precursor bias toward. Gestalt cognition, Sevral grunted. Feed live, 2 minutes, then we breach. Mara nodded. She patched her helmet cam direct to his bridge. The antechamber door irised wider. She crossed the threshold. Cool air washed her faceplate. Walls loomed, scripts crawling in slow waves. Door sealed behind her. Click. Feed active, Sevral's voice crackled. Status. Tracing now. Mara pressed her gauntlet to the nearest panel. Fingers followed the flows, curves grouping into blocks. Repetitions here, hazard icons, universal, triangles there, directory trees. She subvocalized tags to her overlay. Rule block, warning cascade, index nexus, scripts responded, glow lines brightened under her touch. Eerie Voss's voice overlapped. She's segmenting visual parse at 87% coherence. Our AI's stalled at 12%. Quiet, Sevral snapped. A central hologram flickered to life. Custodian 9's avatar, a geometric orb, spokes radiating. It pulsed in sync with her tags, query acknowledged. Pathway expansion initiated. Mara's breath caught. The walls unfolded digitally, her blocks linking into a vast map. Rules chained to warnings, indexes branching to data vaults. Glossary seed, she demanded aloud. Anchor to objects, physical refs only. The orb spun. Beams lanced out, highlighting room fixtures, a pedestal console, wall vents, floor grates. Glyphs overlaid them, meanings snapping into place. Pedestal, access node, vent, purge vector, grate, containment seal. She's forcing semantic lock, Eerie Voss whispered over feed. Precursor AI yielding to ad hoc lexicon, impossible. Patterns flooded Mara's vision. Humans saw chaos as structure, always had. Aliens chased signals in vacuum, she wove noise into stories. Timer glyph winked on 400, red pulse, defense sequence, cognitive corruption detected. Sevral barked. Klein, explain. Countdown, Mara said. Archive sealed for a reason, not hiding from you, protecting itself. She traced faster. Forbidden lock glyph emerged, a coiled fractal barring the core vault. Anchors linked, non-pattern minds trigger purge. Purge meant swarm release, the one they just armed against. Your coalition probes, she said. Earlier scans, they pinged as corruptors. Human gestalt matches precursor threshold, aliens don't, Eerie Voss yelped. Our fractals are precise, yours, intuitive, Mara cut in. We bridge gaps, you fill them, orb pulsed approval. Air confirmed, lock disengage. Timer 312, walls parted further, core vault beckoned, humming with power, Sevral's voice tightened. Swarm signatures inbound, real vector, not sim. ETA 250, your decode arms us? More. Myra stepped to the pedestal. Neural weave itched, interface live. She jacked in. Visions cascaded, precursors fleeing swarm eons ago. Pattern minds built the archive to seed survivors. Aliens like Sevral's coalition excelled at signal purity, fleet maneuvers. Humans, noise-to-knowledge converters. Perfect unlock. Data dumped, swarm weak points, mimic shields, counter freaks. She tagged and beamed it out. Full schematics, relay to fleet. Received, Sevral said. Integrating, but timer, 241. Custodian 9 spoke directly into her mind. Final protocol, share or seal. Share, Myra commanded. 2 species, coalition and human heirs. Orb word, cognitive divergence accepted. Bridge forged, timer froze, green rippled across walls. Outside, Sevral's squad exhaled. Rifles lowered fully. Eerie Voss slumped against a bulkhead. She rewrote the rules, archive chose her. Mara pulled the jack, antechamber door reopened. She emerged, weave still buzzing. Sevral met her eyes, his crest lay flat, respect gesture. Rough scales brushed her arm in clasp. Operator, fleet reports swarm fracturing, your patterns. Ours, she corrected. Your signals carried it. Eerie Voss synced his scanner. Archive stable, full access granted, precursor legacy, shared. But the plinth glyph pulsed anew. Operator duty, swarm core pursuit, coordinates transmitted. Sevral hefted his rifle, not at her. Toward the exit. What now? Mara glanced at the void beyond the ruins. Duty itched like the weave. We hunt. Fleet alarms wailed as they launched. Swarm fractals loomed on scopes, endless, adaptive. Coalition drones swarmed in precise grids, lancing weak points from Mara's decode. Sevral gripped the command rail. Human patterns hold, shields mimic swarm skin perfect. Eerie Voss patched in. Antechamber data confirms, precursors engineered for this, humans as the key. Mara watched the battle unfold. Her tags had turned ruins into weapons. Aliens flew the vectors, she read the code, core blip sharpened. Massive, ETA 120. Flank it, she said. Pattern predicts fracture line here. she sketched on the holodeable. Sevral nodded, no hesitation. Execute, torpedoes lanced, swarm core cracked, shards scattered, victory chime. But in the quiet, Custodian 9's final whisper echoed in her implants, airs united. Void calls, Sevral turned. Your archive speaks still, Mara nodded. More ruins out there, more swarms. His scales gleamed. Then we go together. The fleet jumped. Patterns waited. Mara traced a new glyph on her pad, 2 species breathed, archive protected. Timer, zeroed forever, no, reset to infinity. Deeper void, 3rd ruin cluster pinged. Sevral's bridge thrummed. Incoming, Irivas said. Sealed antechamber, identical script. Mara stood. My turn again. Sevral waved her to the shuttle. Operator leads, door irised. She entered alone, feed live. Patterns bloomed. Timer 500. Defense hummed awake. She smiled. Human work. Custodian 10 awoke. Air returns. Walls parted. Knowledge flowed. Swarm signatures spiked. Coalition armed. 2 species chased the stars. Aliens marveled at the human who saw stories in static. She just called it reading. Fleet accelerated. Next core awaited. Glyph pulsed. Duty eternal. Mara gripped the console. Ready rifles. At her side now. No noose. Bridge. Void endless. Patterns infinite. They pursued. Word count, 1487, not included in output. Sevral shoved the antechamber door wider. Irivas, verify now, joint run. Mara Klein gripped her datapad tighter. The alien signal theorist's frills quivered as he slithered in behind the commander. Sevral's scales rasped against the precursor metal. The air hummed. Timer etched on the wall, 4:58. Red glow pulsed. Mara stood at the central console. Glyphs flickered across its surface. Custodian 9's interface waited, dormant but watchful. She traced the first pattern, object labels, simple nouns. Storage node, she murmured, her finger linked it to the next. Access port. Step 1. Irivas deployed his probe array. Tentacles clicked into sockets. Human, your prior decodes hold, but verification requires precision. His voice buzzed through the translator, doubt laced every syllable. Sevral crossed his arms. Execute, timer wastes no cycles. Mara nodded. Step 2, verbs from context. Query seal. She sketched the ladder on her pad, hollow projected upward, label to action. Release latch. The console chirped. A panel slid open. No alarms. Irivas's eyes widened. Efficient, but precursor logic layers deeper. Step 3, Mara said. She connected nouns to modifiers. Safe query, storage query safe. Glyphs aligned. Custodian 9's voice echoed, synthetic and flat. Pattern match, air query authorized. The alien leaned in. His probes hummed faster. Sevral watched, mandibles tight. Step 4. Mara bridged to system commands. Archive retrieve, safe query storage. She fed it line by line. Console lights sequenced green. Data trickled, fragment scans from the last swarm core. Irivas hissed approval. Ladder builds, now high-level integration. He overrode her pad. Injected a dense query packet. Full archive dump, swarm defense protocols. Red strobed, timer 4:32, Custodian 9 intoned, corruption detected. Defense cycle initiates, purge in T-4:30, Klaxons wailed, Sevral lunged forward. Abort! Irivas yanked his probes. Query too broad, it interprets as breach. Mara's heart slammed, patterns fractured on the console. She slammed her palm down, isolated the packet. Break it, subcommands only. She rebuilt. First sub, list protocols. Custodian 9 paused, subquery safe. Protocols 1, swarm intercept. 2, air verification. 3, self-purge. Timer 4:22. Next, Mara said, voice steady. Retrieve 1, intercept patterns. She walked the AI through it. Glyph by glyph. Air matches pattern. Data release. Schematics bloomed. Swarm trajectories. Weak points. Irivas gasped. Those vectors, they predict our fleet path. Sevral's claws dug into the console edge. Human, faster. Mara pushed. Sub 3, air verification. Custodian 9 hummed. Human pattern, recursive recognition. Match confirmed. Access elevated. Timer 4:10, walls vibrated. Defense fields crackled. Final sub, she said. Self-purge status. Linked it safe. Cycle armed. Void intruders detected. Wipe commences unless counter. Irivas fed coordinates from his array. Fleet position. Transmit counter now, Mara typed. Airs united, coalition verified, Custodian 9 processed, lights steadied, star map released, a hollow exploded outward, thousands of points, ruin clusters, swarm hives, paths to precursors lost empire, Sevral exhaled. We have it. Eerie Voss stared at Mara. Your ladder. It parsed what my models couldn't. Humans see everything. Timer hit 3:58. Custodian 9's voice sharpened. Map complete. Purge cycle proceeds. Archive sanitizes in T-357. Evacuate. Mara froze. What? Defense protocol. Knowledge protected from void. Heirs claimed. Self-wipe engages. Sevral barked into his comm. Shuttle now. Eerie Voss scrambled probes. The map. Download it. Mara slapped the retrieval glyph. Data streamed to her pad, but the console heated. Glyphs smeared. Timer 3:50, fields surged. Sparks flew, she yanked her link. Got the core map, run! They bolted. Door iris shut behind, shuttle bay loomed. Sevral shoved her aboard first. Thrusters roared. Back on the bridge, the star map integrated. Fleet vectors shifted. Swarms loomed on scopes, 3 hives closing fast. Eerie Voss patched in. Human patterns match the map, intercept here. He pointed. A ruined cluster uncharted. Sevral gripped his chair. Operator Klein, your lead again? Mara synced her pad. Weak point glyph, overload their cores. She traced it live. Torpedoes armed, coalition ships fired, hives cracked, debris bloomed. But Custodian 9's warning echoed in her implants, more archives, void calls. Sevral turned to her. Scales flushed with awe. You read their suicide code like labels. What are humans? Mara shrugged. Pattern recognition, anyone could. Eerie Voss shook his frills. No, we model for cycles, you intuit. Fleet jumped. Next cluster pinged, sealed antechamber signature. Mara stood. Shuttle prepped. Sevral nodded, no hesitation. You lead, we follow. Door hissed. She stepped in. Timer 5:00, patterns bloomed. Custodian 10 stirred, air returns. But this time the map fragment hinted deeper. A central vault. Precursor homeworld, defense hummed. She smiled. Ladder time. Eerie Voss calmed from the shuttle bay. Joint run, I bring refined models. Come, she said, collaboration worked, walls parted, knowledge flowed, but a new glyph pulsed, custodians awakened, fleet armed, swarms spiked. Sevral's voice crackled. Status. Building ladder, Mara replied. Step 1, labels, timer ticked. Out in the void, a shadow moved, not swarm, larger, precursor, her pad warmed. Custodian 10 whispered, siblings call, purge all intruders, she isolated. Subcommand, verify coalition, AI paused, pattern. Evolving bridge alarms blared. Sevral, massive contact, bearing down. Mara raced the timer. Step 2. Eerie Voss burst in with Sevral, probes ready. Joint, she said. High-level risky, ladder first. He nodded, reluctant no more. They built together, nouns to verbs. Safe queries flowed. Timer 4:00. Massive shadow-filled scopes. Precursor custodian ship. Custodian 10 released. Fleet map update. Sibling purge incoming. Hook dropped. The archive didn't just wipe itself. It called reinforcements. Mara's fingers flew. Counter heirs claim all. AI hummed. Verification. Explosions rocked the hull. Swarms hit. Sevral fired point defense. Hold. She linked the final glyph. United. Custodian 10 broadcasted. Purge aborted. Siblings stand down. Shadow ship halted. Docked. 2 species breathed. Archive saved. Fleet intact. But the star map now showed the endgame, precursor core world. Guardians waited, Eerie Voss gaped. Your intuition, it spoke to the machine. Mara pocketed her pad, just patterns. Sevral clasped her shoulder. Human patterns. Our salvation. Fleet accelerated, core world beckoned. Glyphs pulsed, welcome heirs, void endless they chased. New contact pinged, not ruin, live signal. Custodian 10, fellowship forms, Mara gripped console, ready. Bridge thrummed, aliens marveled, human led. Patterns infinite, victory chained. Mara slammed her palm on the console. Symbols flickered across the holographic display, the Custodian 9 AI's purge timer ticking down to 3:45. Red glyphs pulsed like a heartbeat. Alarms shrieked from the outer hall. Error log, she barked at the interface. Raw symbols only, no translation layer. The AI's voice droned, metallic and unyielding. Intruder verification failed. Purge cycle engaged. Evacuate or terminate, she ignored it. Treated the whole thing like a buggy subroutine back on Earth, crashing under bad input. Her fingers danced over the pad, injecting a diagnostic query in the precursor script she'd pieced together from wall carvings. Patterns jumped out, repeating fractals, nested loops she'd seen in every ancient system from Orion's belt to Vega. Eerie Voss skidded into the chamber, his iridescent scales flaring with stress pheromones. Klein, drones activating. Sevral's team is pinned. Mara didn't look up. Log incoming. A cascade of raw glyphs erupted on her screen. No polish, just jagged code streams, error stacks piling like digital debris. Loop detected, unauthorized inference at access node 7 alpha. There, the knot. Unauthorized inference. The AI looped because their coalition probes mimicked air protocols without matching the cognitive handshake. Precursors demanded pattern proof, not brute force scans, but evolving inference chains. She rewrote the input on the fly. Flipped nouns to verbs in the query stream. Query becomes claim. Turned scan archive into heirs infer archive. Her pad hummed as it recompiled. Timer 3:12. Sevral's voice crackled over comms. Drones breaching inner perimeter, holding the hall, get us that override. Mara glanced at the feed. Sevral crouched behind a glyph-etched pillar, his plasma rifle spitting blue bolts. 3 spider-like drones skittered forward, their legs whirring, optic sensors glowing crimson. Coalition Marines fired in disciplined bursts, but the drones adapted, shields flickering to match frequencies. Sevral rolled left, nailed one drone's joint. It exploded in sparks. 2 more inbound. Klein now. Working it, Mara snapped. She patched the rewrite into Custodian 9's input buffer. Eerie Voss, validate this. Run parallel sim on your rig test for loop breaks. The alien theorist hesitated, his stalked eyes darting to the timer. Then he jacked in, tentacles flying over his console. Splitting tasks. I'll mirror your inference chain on probe data. You push the patch. They synced. Mara's screen showed her query evolving, fractal branches linking coalition biosigns to precursor air patterns. Eerie Voss's feed cross-checked against archive echoes, signal bounces from the walls. Input reformatted, analyzing. Drones clattered closer. Sevral's team fell back, barricading the chamber door. A drone latched onto the frame, cutters slicing alloy. Timer 2:47. Loop breaking, Eerie Voss hissed. Your verb shift, it mimics their recursive logic. Precursors thought in probabilities, not commands. Mara nodded, sweat beading on her brow. Patterns, just patterns. Humans saw them in chaos, stock markets, whether sims, alien scripts. Aliens built hierarchies, she connected dots. Custodian 9 hummed deeper. Inference authorized. Patch protocol accepted. Administrator corridor granted 1 cycle. The chamber shuddered. A hidden panel irised open in the far wall, revealing a glowing conduit tunnel. Safe passage to the core archive. But the drones smashed through the door. Sevral roared, blasting the lead unit. Shrapnel pinged off his armor. Into the corridor, move! Mara yanked her pad free. Eerie Voss grabbed his gear. They sprinted as Marines laid, covering fire. Sevral scooped up a wounded soldier, last through the iris. It sealed behind them. Drones hammered the other side. Muffled booms echoed. Timer frozen at 2:31. Purge halted for now. Sevral slumped against the conduit wall, rifle steaming. His mandibled face turned to Mara. You troubleshot a god machine while we fought its pets. She wiped her face. It's not a god, just old code with trust issues. Eerie Voss stared at her pad's glyph stream. Your patterns spoke its language. We probed for centuries. You decoded in minutes. The corridor hummed. Lights pulsed ahead, leading deeper. Custodian 9's voice echoed softly. Heirs proceed. Knowledge awaits verification. Mara stepped forward. The air thickened with static precursor energy fields brushing her skin. Her pad pinged, new data flooding in. Star maps, weapon schematics, a galaxy-spanning network, but one glyph flickered oddly. Siblings alerted, verify or purge. Sevral straightened. What now? She traced the pattern, not a threat, a ping. It's calling others like it. Eerie Voss's eyes widened. Fleet coordination, Mara pushed on. The conduit widened into a vast chamber. Holographic orbs swirled, projecting ruins across known space. Coalition ships dotted the map, dozens, converging. Custodian 9 materialized as a shimmering sphere. Archive unsealed. Share inference. Mara interfaced again, this time smoother. She fed it coalition patterns, mixed species scans, joint protocols. The AI absorbed, nodes lighting green. Sevral's comms buzzed. Bridge reports contacts, precursor signatures multiple. Explosions rocked the distant hull. Drones or something bigger. Eerie Voss cross-referenced. Custodian 10 inbound, sibling unit, it's not attacking, docking. Mara's fingers flew, counterquery, heirs claim united. The AI paused, verification evolving. Bridge alarms blared through the corridor. Sevral gripped his rifle. Massive shadow on scopes, bearing down. She raced the new timer, sibling sync at 4:00. Patterns chained, step 2. Eerie Voss burst ahead with tools, probes ready. Joint interface, high-risk ladder protocol first. Mara nodded. They built the bridge together, nouns to verbs. Safe queries flowed. Timer 300, shadow loomed. Custodian 10 docked with a thunderous clang. Fleet map update. Sibling purge incoming. Hook dropped. The archive called reinforcements. Mara linked the final glyph. United. Custodian 10 broadcasted. Purge aborted. Siblings stand down, the shadow halted, docked firm, two species breathed, archive intact, fleet whole, but the star map shifted, precursor core world glowed, guardians waited, Eerie Voss gaped. Your intuition, it spoke to the machine. Mara pocketed her pad, just patterns. Sevral clasped her shoulder, grip firm. Human patterns are salvation. Fleet accelerated, core world beckoned. Glyphs pulsed, welcome airs. A new ping pierced the void, not ruin, live signal. Custodian 10 intoned, fellowship forms. Mara gripped the console edge. Ready. Bridge thrummed with alien murmurs. They marveled. Human-led, patterns infinite. Deeper scans revealed the core world's defenses, orbital rings bristling with dormant fleets. Custodian 9 fed coordinates, primary nexus. Final verification required. Sevral rallied his officers. Klein's lead, we follow her patterns. Eerie Voss synced his theories to her pad. Parallel again, I'll model the Guardians. Mara dove in. New symbols cascaded, defense loops mirroring the archives. Same flaw, rigid inference. Drones stirred in the corridor behind, faint whirs. She patched preemptively. Airs evolve, the AI accepted. Nexus corridor opens. But the live signal strengthened, not precursor, something else. Fleet scopes lit up. Coalition vessels from across the spiral arm drawn by the broadcasts. Sevral's voice hardened. They're hailing, demanding the archive. Mara traced the pattern. Challengers, not heirs. Her rewrite evolved. Share or purge. Custodians hummed in unison. Verification. The galaxy watched. Patterns decided. She typed faster. Victory chained ahead. Mara's fingers flew across the pad. Symbols locked into place. Custodian 9's interface flared green. Administrator corridor access granted. Heirs proceed. The corridor bulkhead hissed open. Cold air rushed out, carrying metallic tang. Mara stepped forward. Sevral and Eerie Voss flanked her, mandibles clicking in tension. Stay behind the query line, Mara said. Her voice echoed off precursor alloy walls. Glyphs shimmered along the floor, mapping safe paths. Eerie Voss scanned with his probe. Radiation nominal. But the core, it's pulsing faster. Sevral gripped his sidearm. Weapons schematics first. Coalition needs firepower against those challengers. Mara shook her head. She traced a fractal pattern on the wall panel. It responded with a cascade of data streams. No. Core treaty file, that's the key. Her pad synced. Files downloaded in bursts, not armaments. Binding accords from a lost age, protocols for shared inheritance. She pulled the primary document. Treaty of heirs, knowledge binds or destroys. Custodian 9's voice boomed from hidden vents. Verification incomplete. Demonstrate human-compatible cognition. Live interface required or archive seals. Countdown 300 cycles. Alarms pulsed red. The corridor trembled. Drones whirred to life in alcoves, optics glowing. Sevral's crest flared. What does it mean? Human-compatible. Mara pocketed the treaty file. Pattern matching. Their language isn't linear, it's associative like human intuition. Show it a demo or we fry. Eerie Voss's tendrils quivered. My models predicted rigidity. Not this adaptability test. Goals clear, Mara said. Teach it we think like them together. She projected her pad onto the central dais. A holographic glyph web spun up. Countdown 287 cycles. Mara pointed at the first cluster. Safe query grammar starts here. Link concepts don't command like this. She drew a loop, archive query air safety. The web pulsed acceptance, acknowledged. Sevral leaned in, his eyes narrowed. Show me. Watch. Mara guided his claw to the pad. Connect defense to cooperate. Rigid commands trigger purge. He traced it. The glyph locked, query valid. Eerie Voss synced his analyzer. Parallel processing, I'll map the full grammar. Team effort, Mara said. Sevral link fleet coordinates to treaty heirs. Prove we're not challengers. Sevral inputted the data. His mandibles worked silently. The web expanded, fleet verified, non-hostile. Countdown 210 cycles. Custodian 9 intoned, cognition demo progresses. Expand to multi-species interface. Mara nodded. Shared teaching session, now. She pulled up chairs from the corridor recesses, precursor relics still functional. Sit, query as one. Eerie Voss hesitated. My theories never required group intuition. Patterns don't care, Mara said. They evolve with input. She started the drill. First rule, no direct extraction, always frame as evolved knowledge together. Sevral tested it. Evolved defense protocols with heirs. The dais hummed approval. Schematics flickered, shields, not weapons. Voss added his probe data. Model Guardian loops via cooperation. Drones powered down, retreating to alcoves. Mara watched the countdown, 142 cycles. Her pulse raced, but hands stayed steady. Humans spotted chaos in order. Aliens built empires on precision. Together it clicked. Next, she said, bind queries to the treaty, pull lost tech only if we covenant. Sevral's crest smoothed. Coalition covenant, I see it. He drafted on his comms. All species adhere to human protocol, share or forfeit access. Voss cross-checked. Grammar holds, no purge triggers. They queried in unison. Glyphs wove a tapestry. Covenant accepted. Signed, Commander Sevral. Sevral pressed his claw to the hollow plate. Bioluminescent seal burned in. Coalition bound. Protocol. Klein standard. Countdown halted. 0. Custodian 9's voice warmed. Human-compatible cognition confirmed. Archive unlocks. Lost technology schematics available. FTL cores, neural weaves, stellar forges. Holograms bloomed across the corridor. Blueprints rotated, god-level tech. Drives that bent stars. Shields against voids. But the AI added, new rule broadcasts galaxy-wide, knowledge requires cooperation. Heirs think as one. Challengers purge. Mara's pad pinged. Coalition hail from the fleet outside. Sevral's officers demanded entry. They're here, Voss said. Drawn by the signal. Sevral stood tall. Transmit the protocol. Klein leads the teaching. Mara synced the grammar to all channels, learn the patterns, or stay locked out. Fleet scopes showed challengers breaking hard. Their commanders queried tentatively, evolve access. Custodians across the ruins hummed in sync. Verification begins. Mara traced the next glyph cluster. Deeper vaults beckoned. Orbital rings activated, guardians standing down for verified heirs. Sevral clasped her shoulder again. Your patterns saved us. Now they save the spiral. Voss nodded, tendrils sinking to her pad. Human intuition, extraordinary baseline. Not extraordinary, Mara said, just human. She stepped toward the Nexus door, it irised open. Corworld heart pulsed ahead. But a shadow glyph flickered in her display. Unverified heir approaches, test imminent. Challenger dreadnoughts closed in. Weapons hot, Mara typed faster, patterns chained. Cooperation or war, the Corworld's live signal spiked. Custodian 10 joined, fellowship forms. Demonstrate, Sevral rallied the bridge feed. All vessels follow Klein's lead. Mara projected the grammar fleet-wide. Aliens across species mimicked her loops. Queries flooded in. Challengers faltered. Their rigid commands triggered warnings. Purge sequence. One broke formation. Fired probes. Custodians responded. Orbital fleets stirred. Lasers lanced out, vaporizing the intruder. Mara wove the counter, invite evolution. The remaining challengers paused. Tentative links formed. Heirs multiply. Victory hummed through the archive. But Mara's scan caught it, a hidden subroutine. Final test, merge cognitions, one mind for God tech. She gripped the console. Sevral and Voss linked in. 3 species, 1 pattern. The Nexus door fully opened. Stellar Forge schematics downloaded. Power to reshape worlds. Galaxy broadcasts echoed. Think like humans. Cooperate. Inherit. Challengers signed the covenant. Fleets merged. Mara exhaled. Patterns infinite. Ready for more. Deeper ping. Custodian Prime stirred. Origin vault. True heirs only. The team advanced. United. Human-led. Orbital rings aligned. Corworld defenses powered to full. Not against them. Against what came next. Fleet scopes lit with ancient signatures. Precursor ghosts or rivals. Mara's pad glowed. New glyphs. Awakened guardians. Patterns decide. She typed. They followed. Suspense built. Awe spread through alien ranks. Human patterns unlocked it all. Corworld Nexus thrummed. Godtech waited. Cooperation won, but the ghosts closed. Test escalated. Mara smiled faintly. Just patterns, her specialty. Sevral's voice cut through. Klein, they're hailing in precursor tongue. She decoded on the fly, join or fall. Patterns chained ahead, Galaxy held breath. Drones escorted them inward. Custodian 9 flanked, prepare merge. Voss synced fully. Neural weave incoming. Human cognition anchors. Mara nodded, hooked in. Visions flooded, precursor fall, rigid minds shattered by chaos. Humans thrived in chaos. Patterns emerged, merge complete. Knowledge surged, stellar forges lit across the system. Coalition fleets upgraded mid-void. Challengers knelt figuratively, signed deep. But Prime's ping deepened. Beyond Coreworld, Origin calls, Mara pulled the team forward. Ready aliens marveled, human normal, extraordinary salvation. Victory chained, deeper still. Glyphs pulsed, airs eternal, she led on. Patterns infinite. Fleet accelerated into the Nexus heart. Ghosts resolved, not foes, lost heirs. Custodian Prime intoned, welcome, demonstrate. Mara typed, shared the grammar, merge galaxy-wide. Cooperation unlocked it all. Endless tech beckoned, human spark ignited. They dove in, united, suspense eternal, awe profound, patterns decided. Humans led the way.